So let's come into our practice. So coming into a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. Bring your hands to your knees, close your eyes, and you can either rest your palms on your knees, or if you prefer, you could have the backs of your hands on the knees with the thumb and the index fingers touching. And after a long day or in the middle of a long day, take this time to tune into the rise and fall of your breath, your prana. So with each inhale, feel the energy infusing all of your cells. With each exhale, let go of something stressful. Let go of something that's physically or emotionally stressful. Sometimes as you're coming into your practice, you might even use the mantra. On the inhale, say to yourself, I am. And on the exhale, enough. I am enough. Okay, and then you can open your eyes now. And just bring your hands back to your knees. Roll the shoulders up, away, and back. And 2 more shoulder rolls with the breath. And again, inhale. Nice, and then exhale. So keeping spine nice and long now. Let's circle the spine clockwise. And then counterclockwise. Lovely, and let's come all the way up. Float your arms all the way up towards the ceiling and bring some movement into your hands. Go the other way around. Okay, and then let's bring your palms overhead. And then please bring your hands down towards the nape of your neck. So your hands are just trailing down towards the nape of your neck and you're lifting your chin to parallel. A nice way to open up your rotator cuffs. Nice. Okay, inhale all the way back up through your arms. Open your arms out wide once again, and we'll come into side twist. And back to center. And other way. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. And exhale, twist. Okay, now coming back to your center, hands to your knees. Let's bring the right shoulder across towards opposite knee and let your head release downward. Roll up with the inhale. Other side. And lift. Okay, one more time each side. Shoulder towards knee. Roll up. Last side. Inhale, lift. That's it. Okay, we're gonna slide the arms all the way up now and bring your arms out wide, goddess arms, reaching the forearms back, spreading the fingers. Inhale here. Exhale, bring forearms to meet as you round in. So kind of like a cat-cow. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And reaching all the way out and wide. Let's come into a side stretch over to the right. And if you want, you can go a little bit further, but you're still keeping those sits bones rooted down, rolling open here, stretching out a little further, and then one big circle with the top arm all the way around and back up over the ear. Inhale up, and then here we go over to the other side. Big circle around, and inhale up and over the ear. Please lift. So coming into Garudasana, the right arm can go over the left and backs the hands or palms. Lift the elbows up. And take a forward fold. Inhale, lifting. So you're always trying to find the comfortable place between effort and effortlessness. So finding that balance between being gentle and then using energy. So reaching your arms out wide, bring your hands behind you, changing the cross of your legs, reaching out wide, and then the other arm comes on top. Just kind of finding where it's comfortable and not straining, not striving. So finding a sense of being peaceful and yet energetic. Forward fold here. Maybe the forearms can meet the mat. Release your head down. Lifting up to widen and broaden your arms all the way out. And then bring your hands down behind you. So walking your hands towards each other, shoulders slide back, lift your solar plexus, lift it up, lift your chin, and allow the oxygen to infuse your cells as you breathe in and out through your nose. And then let's come to the full palm behind you and bring your feet out in front of you, hip width apart. And it might look funny, the foreshortening of the angle here, but you're lifting up into a table. Lift your hips, float your hips as high as you can, and let your head come back. You might want to even lift your heels. Good. Lower your hips back to the mat and bring your feet together, knees open wide, forward fold. Just noticing how you feel today, being kind to yourself, developing a kind of self-compassion. Just noticing where you are today and meeting yourself there, not asking yourself to do more than you feel like you can right now. You're just here, you're meeting yourself where you are. No competition with yourself or anyone else. Please roll back up when you're ready, all the way back up. We'll come into boat pose, drawing the knees in towards one another, holding on behind your knees. You can lean gently back and then build boat pose. So beginning to lift your shins to parallel or all the way up. Maybe your hands can slide up to your ankles. Spread out through the balls of your feet. If you fall back, that's fine. Just come on back up. One more breath. Keep lifting really tall through your heart. Okay, and then we'll just gently, slowly come down. Long legs. Reach right up to your sits bones. And forward fold. So the first forward fold of the day is always the most challenging. So again, be kind to yourself. Practice non-violence, ahimsa. So if it's too much, you can sit a lot taller. Just come to the first edge. Or if you feel like you can, you might begin to slip a little further into the pose with each exhale. Let's come all the way back up. Self-compassion, non-violence, non-striving in our yoga practice. So we're going to bring now the right ankle over the left knee and coming into a twist, Lord of the Fishes, lifting up as tall as you can, drawing the knee in, and maybe you'll bring the elbow across the knee, palm facing in the direction of your gaze. And then you can turn your gaze even further towards space behind you for about 3 breaths. With each inhale, feel that you're lifting a little taller. And with each exhale, just sliding your gaze just a touch more towards the back of the room. Okay, ready to come out? Let's come all the way back up, unwinding, reaching all the way up with arms, stretching out through heels, lifting up to sits bones. That's it. And then we're coming into twist to the other side. Here we go. And then again, those 3 breaths where on the inhale, there's a lift, on the exhale, this is just a gentle opening. And coming back to center all the way. Here we go, back to center. And then feet together now, knees open wide, and take another Baddha Konasana. This time, when you come into your forward fold, you might instead walk your hands out in front of you. Where can you let go of something? Can you soften your jaw, your face? Can you walk your hands just a touch further along the floor in front of you? And then coming all the way back up. Right leg goes out wide now. Left heel draws in. Open arms wide and up and over into a side stretch. So some of you I know are pretty flexible in this class. So if you wanted to come a little deeper, you could begin to try to catch your toe, but try not to roll in as I'm doing here. Keep opening out wide if you're catching your toe. That's it. And then press that knee down and press out through the heel. So notice the difference? Rather than doing this, you're reaching out and opening. I prefer just a little higher. To me, feels healthier in my skeleton. Okay, inhale up. And then palm to the floor, and let's lift up into wild child. Coming down. Good, and then let's change sides. Up and over. Maybe you're going to catch both hands to the foot, and if you do, make that distinction of rolling open through ribs as you do, pressing down through your thighs. And then when you're ready to inhale up, plant the palm behind you, and lift up into wild child on this side. Okay, let's come all the way down. Coming into child's pose at the back edge of your mat, hips back to heels. Walk your hands over to the right and bring your torso over the right thigh. And be mindful that your shoulders are parallel rather than kind of scooping one up and down. So shoulders are reaching down evenly towards the floor. Head is relaxed. Left hand can stack on top of right. And back to center to the other side. Lovely, and let's come back to center, slide up to all fours, shoulders over wrists, and we'll do instead of cat-cow, let's do some barrel rolls. So instead of cat-cow, which is sort of forward and up and down, this is more all the way around, as if you're rolling your torso around the outside of a big barrel. Okay, and you can really exaggerate this movement. And then you can go the other way. Okay, and then let's come to neutral spine now and send your right leg all the way back behind you. And now immediately begin to turn the right toes, stacking right hip over left and lifting right arm all the way up. Stay here or catch foot, half bow. And if you're taking that half bow, really push that foot into the hand. See the difference? Push that foot into the hand and let your head reach back for the big toe. So you're finding this arched shape. That's it. And then coming out slowly through extension. So the way you come in and out of poses is part of your practice. And then bring your hand down and your knee down, hips back to heels. And as you do, the right hand slides underneath for an easy thread the needle. Inhale back up to all fours. Left leg slides out behind you. Left toes begin to open out to the side to stack your left hip over right, left arm over right. Find that wonderful stacking to find lightness feeling. And then maybe you can begin to, from there, come into a half bow, Dhanurasana. Head can reach back gently for that toe. And then coming out through extension, lowering your hand back down safely to the mat, lowering the knee, and then please slide the left hand all the way through, coming down to left shoulder, left side of face. Okay, then coming back up. Let's finally come into downward facing dog. So feet are hip width apart. Reach down through your heels, reach your chest forward, stretch your Achilles, make whatever movements that you like to make, bending one knee and then the other. And sometimes it's even nice to lift both heels up and slide both heels over to the right, and both heels up, and slide both heels over to the left. Good, and then both heels back up again, and slide them down towards the floor. Inhale forward into a plank, and then make your way into your vinyasa. Lifting the right leg all the way up behind you. And lower. And the left leg all the way behind you. And lower. Let's do it one more time. So keep your chest reaching back towards your inner thighs. Keep your hips fairly parallel to the floor as you lift your right leg as high as you can. You're not opening out. You're to keep your hips square. You're lifting up as high as you can. And lower. That's it. And let's try that other side. So keep your chest reaching long. And lower. Beautiful. Take another vinyasa, or you can jump to the forward fold, and we'll meet you there in a moment. We're all going to meet in forward fold at the front edge of mat. Inhale, reach arms wide and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands draw down to heart center. Inhale, reach arms wide and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Please make your right foot your standing foot and lift your left knee up. Coming into a little bit of a balance. Clear your mind. Find a focal point or a drishti, and then begin to explore tipping right at the hip crease to find warrior three. Arms can go wide. Find your balance, smooth, easy breathing. And then when you're ready to come out, step back into a really sturdy warrior one. Bring your hands around behind you. Find your hands in interlace. Draw the hands down to lift your heart. Forward fold. Good. And then from here, we'll transition, bringing hands to either side of the foot. And then you'll pop to the ball of the left foot and slide it back a little bit further so that this thigh can be pretty parallel with the floor. And then try not to bend your knee. Really reach back through your heel. So you get this long length from thigh to thigh. And then from here, lift your right arm up. One more breath. Try not to slide the knee open. The knee hovers right over the ankle. That's it. And then bring your hand to the mat. And then in one movement, slide the right leg back and up. Lower the leg. Inhale to plank. Take your vinyasa. So you may layer in the Chaturanga Dandasana, which is from plank to the belly. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Look to the front edge of the mat. Step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. Exhale, bring hands to heart space. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. Exhale, hands slide down to heart space. Root down to the left foot as you float the right knee up. Just finding that set yourself grounding down into the left foot. And getting the rebound action of rooting down at the same time lifting up. So feeling super steady and light as you begin to tip into a warrior three. And you may not feel steady today, and that's also okay. Meeting ourselves where we are in our practice today. When you're ready to come out, just stepping back gracefully, kind of nailing the landing, if you will. Reaching back up into warrior one. You can make some small adjustments in the length, and then bring your hands around behind you, interlacing hands. Lift up, we're taking that forward fold this side. This is Peaceful Warrior. Enjoy. And then hands come down to frame the front foot, into the ball of the right foot, and left arm swims up. Please bring your hand back down, step back to your three-legged dog. Take your vinyasa. So if you like taking your vinyasa and you want to try to layer into a three-legged chaturanga dandasana, you can bring the foot up over the heel and then come through your chaturanga dandasana like so. Joining in downward facing dog. There's always places to titrate further in your yoga practice. From your down dog, look forward, take a soft bend in your knees, step or hop, forward fold. I think someone's microphone is on. If you wouldn't mind just muting yourself, please. On the inhale, reach your arms wide and up, palms meet overhead. And your exhale, bring your hands to heart space. That's it. Inhale, reach your arms wide and up, palms meet together, inner ankles touch. Exhale down through chair pose. Sink a little deeper. Try not to grip your toes. So in your chair pose, your toes are soft. Get deep. And then come into your twist to your right. Okay. So in your chair pose, you want to make sure your knees are parallel so that you're not kind of twisting. The knees are parallel. Oops. Knees are parallel. Open your arms wide. Get these ribs open. And then we're going to slide this hand over to the left-hand side. So your right hand's up to 12 o'clock. The left hand slides over the left-hand side of the mat. And then bring all of your weight into your right foot as you lift your left toes up and step back into lunge. We've been here before. 1 or 2 more breaths. Hands to the mat, slide back through three-legged dog. Lower the leg. So you can either come right to the front of the mat, or you can move through your vinyasa, or you can layer in this three-legged chaturanga dandasana, up to you. Everyone joining in forward fold. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. Exhale, bring hands to heart space. Here we go for second side. Inhale. Exhale. Now coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale. Slide your feet to touch. Exhale all the way down through chair pose. Hug your knees and then come into twist across your left knee. Open arms out wide. Bring the right hand now just over the right side of the mat, just to make it a little bit easier for this next move. And then all your weight's in your left foot as you lift your right toes up. And here, step back as far as you can to get that long lunge. Refine your pose. Breathe. And then lower your hand. Take your vinyasa. Step or jump, forward fold. Inhale, reach arms wide and up. And exhale, bring hands to heart space. Open wide to face each other. Feet are parallel. Legs length apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's come into an easy forward fold. Bring your hands to the floor. So here, if your feet are a little wider, it's easier to get your fingertips to the floor without using a block. And we're going to walk our hands forward as we melt the chest downward. Shake your head no. Nod it yes. So nice, easy, loose head, neck, shoulders, mouth, tongue. Feet are broad. And then bring your hands or walk your hands so that the thumbs are close, if not touching. And then let's go ahead and bring the right arm all the way across and underneath to catch the outside of your left leg. So it's a twist. Your torso is long, your arms extend on the left-hand side, and keep on sliding your right hand down, maybe even catching the left outer ankle. Keep rolling right ribs under and left ribs open. Where can you find space here? And are you still breathing? Smooth and steady up through nose. And let's come out of that gently, slowly. Coming back out through the right hand out in front of you. And you can just come into that same pose on the other side. Good. And then coming all the way back out, hands back to beneath your shoulders. Let's walk around to the outside edge of your mat. I'm sorry, the back edge of your mat. To lower your knee, untuck your toes. Come down to forearms into lizard. I don't know if you can hear the wind outside of these windows. It's a very windy day today. And then coming back up to your hands, tuck your toes, lift your knee, come back around to center. That's it, and we're just coming right into lizard on the first side. So you're gonna walk around, and you know this pose, we've done this lots of times, but you're gonna bring that front foot to the outside edge of the mat. See how I just walked it over? And you bring your hands just a little wider. And then you're gonna truly come to the ball of that foot, you're not angling in, so that you can release your hips downward. Feel the difference? Release your hips downward. This is isometric pose because you're reaching back and reaching forward. So hands reaching down, or hands in the mat, letting your hips release down, and then you can lower your knee and untuck your toes to come to your forearms. Or remember, you can also use your block, whichever is more comfortable for you. Nice. Keep breathing. And then let's come up and out. And then from here, just back into a nice, easy child's pose, hips back to heels. In child's pose, some people love to bring their arms back towards your ankles with the palms facing up, and you could do that instead if you like. Okay, so if you don't mind, just have a look at what I'm about to do. This is a pose that I would prefer to teach actually in this online, so you can really see what I'm doing, and you can decide whether or not you want to try it. But we're about to bear a little bit of weight on the head. Okay, so just look first. I'm interlacing my hands. I'm pressing your hands up, and then I'm gonna take off this necklace. Hold on. So I'm interlacing my hands, I'm lifting them up, and then I'm gonna roll to the top of my head as I lift my hips. So I'm just bearing a little bit of weight on the top of my head, not much, but just a little bit, and it's pretty interesting for most people. So you're not coming behind your head, you're bearing weight right on the very crown of your head. And then come down, all the way rolling down.
So if you like the way that feels, you can go ahead and try it now. If you like the way that feels, you can do it a couple times, or if you don't like it, wait for us in child's pose. There can be something quite soothing about rolling from forehead to crown of head and back again. If it bothers your neck, don't do it. And then everyone, when you're ready to come out, let's come up to all fours, and we're going to lower right down to forearms here. Find yourself, hands interlaced. We're coming into dolphin in a moment. So interlacing your hands, try not to have your elbows way out like flying buttresses, but they're directly beneath your shoulders. So the plumb line is straight down. Tuck your toes. Press down into your forearms. You're really bearing weight into your forearms. You're lifting out of your shoulders. And then you're coming right into down dog. Your head is not on the floor. See, it's loose. You're bearing all of your weight on your forearms, and then you're pressing your chest back. And then maybe you can walk your feet an inch forward without rounding. As soon as you start to round, you've gone too far. Press it back, root down through heels. Breathe well. Lift the right leg up if you like. This is called dolphin, and then lower. Lift the left leg up if you like. And lower, that's it. And then if you'd like to go further, look to your thumbs. Slide your nose to your thumbs, and then slide back. You can repeat that whole thing, or you can come down and wait in child's pose. And make it a wide child's pose, everyone. Knees wide as the mat, toes untucked, child's pose. Resting on one side of your face. And then the other. Good. And then we'll come all the way back up to all fours and just coming back into downward facing dog. Please lift your right leg all the way up behind you. Step it through. Plant your heel as you open out into warrior two. Nice deep bend of the knee. Reverse warrior. Parsvakonasana. If you want to be more challenging Parsvakonasana today, both arms can reach out to the side as if you're handing a beach ball off. Okay, and then let go of that beach ball as you open back out into palms up, warrior two. Inhale, everything up. And then bring arms out wide, coming into Trikonasana. And this time, to challenge yourself, bring the back of your right hand against the calf and slide down to wherever is interesting. So it's not about touching the floor as much as it is about keeping your left shoulder and ribs open. Stay here or bring your left hand to your hip. Slide your right hand forward. If you've got a block that's handy, you're welcome to use the block to come into Ardha Chandrasana. Ready to come out? Step gently, slowly back out through warrior two. Try to
Find your landing in one movement. And then bring your hands back down, please, to either side of the foot. Slide the right leg back and up. Your choice to stay here or to flip your dog here before second side. And that would be bringing your right heel into your hip. Bring your right knee towards the ceiling. Keep opening out right side. Coming to that little twist here and then lowering to the ball of your right foot. Left leg is long. Lift. And coming back around, plank, lower knees, chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back through downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. And steps through. Open out warrior two. Reverse warrior. Finding Parsvakonasana, elbow to thigh, reaching long through side body. Maybe both arms reach up. Challenging. And then let go of that beach ball as you open arms wide, coming all the way up. Palms up to the ceiling. And then coming into triangle. Keep rolling the ribs open. One thing that's interesting for me is that in Zoom, it's sort of like almost like a mirror, I can see myself, and everyone could actually use an adjustment, especially in triangle. So here, notice how I'm cut. So the more I can open out, I actually benefit from coming a little taller to find that opening. Okay, and then from here, you can bring your hand to the hip, look down without losing that beautiful opening, come into your Ardha Chandrasana on this side, using the block or not. Sometimes I honestly prefer no block. I feel more steady myself on my 5 fingers, but it's entirely up to you. If you feel quite steady in your Ardha Chandrasana, you could try to bring your left hand to your heart. Oops. Challenging. And then when you're ready, coming back down into warrior two. Beautiful. And then take your vinyasa. Feel free to flip your dog as you're moving through. Okay, please slide forward into a plank. About 10 breaths in plank. You can also take it at the knees or at your forearms. You're ready to come down. Come all the way down to the belly, untuck your toes, and let's rest forehead, forearms. Lift your heels and circle your feet. Go the other way. Nice. And then you can catch your feet if you like. If it doesn't bother your knees or your low back, catch your feet and lift up into bow. That's the way. And then we'll slowly come down, forehead to the floor, hands to either side of the chest, and then peel it back up into child's pose.
Okay, pigeon everyone. Sliding up to all fours. If you're feeling a little bit more low energy now, you can come directly into pigeon like this. But classically, you would come into pigeon from downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Look to your right wrist. Slide the right knee forward. The left leg back. And lift up into pigeon. Rooting down evenly through both left and right side of hip. Maybe coming to your forearms like dolphin arms. Maybe coming all the way down to your chest. Five breaths, everyone. Coming out through three-legged dog. Lower, take a vinyasa if you like, or straight into left side, please. Okay, let's come back up. And instead of coming out through that three-legged dog, I'm just going to move us out in a different way. So please slide over to your left hip and swing the right leg all the way around to place outside your left knee. Bring your hands to your hips, or your knees, and lift up. So you're going to open out towards your right knee, drawing the right knee in. You can always come across if you like. That's it. And then coming back to center, change sides. So now that's left foot is over the right knee. You're rooting down evenly through both sits bones, opening out to your left, and you can bring the elbow across the left knee if you like. And then coming back out, lovely. All the way back out. Free your feet out in front of you. Hips come all the way up. Arms reach out in front. This is how we're going to come to the back body. Slowly, with control. Layering, lowering, slowly. All the way down until you can bring your knees in to your chest and close your eyes. Here it might feel wonderful to let your head roll side to side. And it might also feel wonderful now to rock side to side. You can be as gentle or, into it as you like. You can really roll however you like. This is all for you. It's your practice. And then come back up. And then we'll bring the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Plug the arm bones down. And then thighs parallel to arms. Shins parallel with the floor. And then the navel hugs downward. Opposite limbs extend long and return. Long and return. Long and return. So keep going. And the slower and more controlled you are, the more you contain the core,
engage the core without letting the body rock side to side, the more interesting this is. It's like a reset for your shoulders and your hips, bringing everything back into appropriate alignment. Last one each side. Lovely. And now you'll bring your arms out wide, finally palms open towards the ceiling. Draw your knees in, hug them in, circle your ankles, both directions. Get rid of any kind of tightness or kinking in your feet. Sometimes feet tend to kind of feel tense for some reason. And then finally, relax face and shoulders, and let's come into a twist to the right. Excuse me. And then up to center, and then over to the other side. Sometimes twists can really dislodge stuff in your lungs, make you cough. And sometimes if you're lucky in your twist, you can feel a little adjustment or a click in your spine, a little changing with positioning of the vertebra, almost like a chiropractic adjustment. And then coming back up to your center now, we're coming towards the end of class, so nice aligned spine. Draw your knees wide, and let's circle the knees in one direction. And go the other way. And really, any last movements that you'd like to make in your hips to be nice and soft and relaxed. And then we're going to find happy baby. Here we go. And I like to go through wide legs once in a while, so you can bend your knees, but also really reaching out to your heels, flexing your feet, so really getting into your hamstrings. Rocking here across the back body is also pretty nice. You're getting right into the kidney and the liver. Head is independently moving from the rest of the spine. So nice soft neck, soft jaw. And then last but not least, feet together, knees open wide, arms overhead. Now I'm just realizing that I did not bring you into a bridge pose. So you know what? I'm going to do that now before we come into that last pose. So let's do that. Knees together, feet wide. Let's just come into one bridge pose because it's so wonderful. Bridge pose. You can bring your hands behind you if you want. Five more breaths. Coming down when you'd like. Okay, and we're coming now towards Shavasana. And today I'm going to encourage you maybe to come into legs up the wall for Shavasana. If you don't want to do that, just come right into your normal Shavasana, which is wonderful. If you have a bed like I do nearby, by the way, this is my spare bedroom. This is not my personal bedroom, just so you know. So you can do this, legs over the bed. That's also pretty nice for Shavasana. Or legs up the wall is really wonderful. I'm going to show that to you too. So the way to get legs up the wall is you slide your hips right against the wall, and then just flip around and legs go straight up the wall. And that could be your Shavasana, or you could take part of your Shavasana like this and then come into traditional. So if you've never tried this before, maybe try this today. It's pretty wonderful, especially if you're a runner. It brings all of the blood flow back into the brain. So out of the, all the pounding down of the blood, bring it back up. Beautiful.
So please feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like, but try to stay in it for at least another 5 minutes. So I'm not going to bring you out of Shavasana because you may want to stay a little longer. So I'm just going to say namaste to you right now. So namaste. Enjoy the rest of your practice. Have a wonderful weekend. And I hope to see you next week when we have nicer weather, hopefully. And enjoy your Shavasana.